Hi, I'm Phil Robinson. I'm the Schools Partnership Coordinator for Sport Gisborne Tyre Rafferty. And today we're at the Enterprise Pools here in Gisborne. And the event we've got on today is the Rural Schools Junior Swimming Sports. So it's the 5, 6, 7 and 8 year olds from a range of schools out in the countryside. Tikaraka are joining in for the very first time today. They're joining the likes of Riri, Wairangirakuri, Waipower Station, Tiniroto, Motu School are here. So it's going to be a very, very family type event. The one big advantage of our rural schools and their events is that it all feels like one big happy family. I'm very honoured to be involved in it. I go to their cross country, to their triathlon, to their athletics, and every time everybody gets on so well together. It's a well organised festival. It's organised by Yvonne Nikora from Wairangirakuri School, and she's an old hand at it now. She's been doing it for the past few years, so she sends the schools the list of events in order well before the time, so all the children can prepare in their own school, and then they come here all ready to have a fun day. There are competitive events, but there are also some fun events, and I'll just tell you one or two of the interesting fun events we've got going on. So there will be a one width nudging the ball with the forehead, which I think is fantastic. There's flutterboard kicking. There's swimming underwater, hopefully coming up again at the other end. And like all good swimming championships, we finish off with a relay. There's a team relay followed by a pyjama relay. And the whole event starts 10 o'clock in the morning, should be finished round about 12 o'clock with prize giving. And that gives the children time, weather permitting, to stay outside here on the lovely grass, have a little bit of lunch and socialise with each other. You have to remember that a lot of these schools have only got, for example, Motu 11 students. I think Tiniroto probably about 14, 15 students. So they don't always get a chance to meet students of their own age on a regular basis. And this is one of the events that gives them an opportunity to do that, and to find the students that they ultimately probably will be going to the high schools with. So as I said, as well as a sporting event, it's pretty much a social event as well. All of the schools have their own pool. Through Water Safety New Zealand, some of the schools have been able to get some additional support for swimming instruction. From the newsletters that I get from the rural schools and from my time up in the rural schools, they swim every day. I know Wairangirakuri, their students are expected to have their togs with them every day, and they're hardy souls. If you've thought about the weather we've had over the past few weeks, which has been supposedly summer, swimming up at Motu is probably a bit more of a challenge than it would normally be, but hey, they've been doing it. They only have small pools obviously, so that's why for the purposes of this junior event, so it only goes up to 8 year olds, as I said, they actually swim widths rather than lengths, so that's more of a distance that they're familiar with. It's interesting actually, we've been doing some work with city schools and some coast schools, assessing basic levels of fitness of new entrant primary school students, and we haven't yet been able to get out to the rural schools. What we are finding is that balance is below a level of expectation, and that sprint running is below a level of expectation for 5 year olds coming into school. So it will be very interesting to see what the rural students come up with. We're actually going to have a look at the ones at Tikaraka in the next couple of weeks, and I would suspect that the ones who, particularly from the farming community, the ones who live on the land, so to speak, maybe their lifestyle's a little bit more like what it used to be in the older days, my days, so not too old, where we tended to spend a bit of time climbing trees and running about, jumping over things, and maybe that's less part of the lifestyle of the city dwellers a little bit more nowadays. So potentially, yes, they will have a higher degree of entry-level fitness, but whether that equates to the swimming as well, we'll soon find out. In this region, it's essential that every student can swim. A friend of mine once said, if you can swim 200 metres in a pool, it equates to 50 metres in the sea, with the current, the temperature, etc. So the earlier that students have got water confidence and they're exposed to deeper water, the better. And at the end of the day, it's the only thing we teach in schools that can save lives.